What up, dudes?
On the phone, I'm on FaceTime with Kyle Kashuv.
I asked you guys like a couple hours ago on Patreon about clout, attention-seeking, relationships, sex, women, and dating. The relationship between men and women, current events, and what's happening in the news. Nick N asked, how do you manage your daily life? That's strange now because I don't go to school anymore and I still live around college. And I live with 4 guys who are all in college. And so my daily life, like, I'm just adjusting now. Like, summer break was different because everybody's out of school. But now I'm not a student. Like, I just finished my video yesterday. I finished editing and I uploaded it. I woke up this morning like, now I need to do something. I don't want to work a 9 to 5, but I need to treat this like a 9 to 5 to some degree. Like, yeah, I need to work 8 hours a day or else I'm wasting time. So my daily life, like, it's just keeping busy. It's just always doing something. Like, don't spend too much time laying down doing dick. I woke up this morning, meditated, I did some push-ups. You just need to go and get after it every single day. If you're not being busy, if you're not doing something productive, then you're wasting time. And that productive standard is different for everyone. Like, I think you can turn pain into something positive. Like, when I got in my awful car accident, you know, that lost a bunch of money. I lost my fucking car, got points on my license, but I turned it into something positive. I found a message within that. What would have been worse is if nothing happened that day. If I just didn't grow at all. Jiu Yi says, why do you think people are distracting themselves from what matters more than ever? And why do you think they deny it when confronted? Last night I was sitting eating dinner, and there was a bunch of guys in my living room. I live in a college house with a bunch of guys. And all of them were looking at their phone. And then one guy was hitting a jewel and looking at his phone. One guy was smoking a joint while looking at his phone. And one guy was drinking vodka while looking at his phone. And I realized in that moment that each one is kind of the same thing. They're all just different drugs. They're different distractions, different dopamine releases. There's just more stuff to distract yourself with. It's becoming easier to sit on a couch and be complacent because, you know, you can occupy your brain. Your expansive brain can be occupied in a couple seconds by numbing it with drugs, staring at your phone, releasing it with dopamine, eating burgers. There's one guy who lives in my house. Like, he'll wake up, take a hot, long-ass shower every morning. Like, you should be taking cold showers in the morning. This guy's taking, like, a nice, cozy, warm shower. And I know because I walk in and the thing is steaming. And he's smoking a joint in there in the morning. And he'll go back in his room, lay in his bed with the blanket over him, watch some Netflix, and just get all cozy. It's very easy to get comfort and, like, have a bunch of things to rely on. Me, like, my whole room is, like, I devote myself to my work. I don't have a lot of comforting things, you know. Once in a while I relax, but I have, like, the merch is all over cluttering my room. To the left, I have my umbrella for my lighting equipment, my microphone, my camera's out, the table set up just so I can start recording as soon as I get up. If I get too comfortable, then it's easy to forget that I should be working a lot. I'm young, I have free time. I dropped out of school. Like, I don't have time to make excuses. I don't have time to be all cozy, smoking a joint in the hot shower. I have to be working or else I'm going to get lazy. How do you hold a conversation when you run out of things to say? To be honest, I just feel dumb when I force myself to think about something to say, and when it comes out, my words get all mixed up. Yeah, I remember, like, me and Cass used to go to this bar, or you still kind of go, but we used to go to this bar, and, like, he would always pick up girls there, and I was like, how the fuck do you do it? It was just, like, trash-ass bar, like, trashy as fuck. Everyone fucked up, and I would go there with, like, a couple beers, and, like, I do okay in the dating world, but I never could pick up a girl that I'm like, what's your secret? So just get drunk.
Literally.
Get drunk. And then literally the next time, I got hammered, bro. I went with these soccer kids, and they're doing shots all night, like, the bartender's getting involved. Like, classic white boy wasted.
Yeah, so we were in the bar, and he got smashed, and I look over, and I see him doing the classic Latino mating ritual, millennial, where she's just grinding on him, throwing her shit back, and he's catching it, eyes rolling to the back of his head. And I'm like, all right, you know, at least he's doing his thing. 'Cause he was telling me about this girl, like, oh, she's fit, she's giving me signals.
She wasn't bad.
She was good looking. He's like, oh, she's giving me signals. I'm like, bro, go for it. Maybe 5 minutes later, I look away, doing my thing, I just feel someone tap my shoulder. And I turn around, and it's this guy, he's like, bro, you have to fuck her friend.
You ever been there, like, when you want to get laid, but the ugly friend needs attention too?
Bro, and usually I would do it.
Take one for the team, bro.
Usually I would.
Help your boy out.
But he was standing, like, broad-shouldered in front of me, so I'm like, oh, this fag's hiding something. So I kind of scooch him over, and I look, and this girl was looking straight into my eye. But the trick is, she was only looking with one of her eyes, because the other one was looking over there.
I remember her eyes.
They were going crazy, yo. She was
It
getting
was
me
like
dizzy.
that all night.
I'm like, yo, I'm too drunk for this.
It was like that all night.
Her eyes, you ever been to a rave when they do the thing with the gloves?
Mm-hmm.
She was doing that shit with her eyes to me. And I was like, yeah, Nico, I'm sorry, bro, but I don't think it's gonna work. He's like, bro, please, this and that. Ends up finding some random, like,
Some
local.
random ass dude.
We're in the hood. He ends up finding some local, brings him back to his house, because the guy says he's down to shag this girl. And I guess what, he couldn't get hard?
No, they did. They fucked on the couch for like 2 minutes and then he dipped. And I only had one more condom and I gave it to him. And he's like, yo, thanks, bro. Yo, take my number. Next time you go out, let me know. I'm out. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Put in a fake number, then he leaves. He didn't even make a mess. Like, I set myself up to get robbed, honestly. Like,
Literally.
He didn't even go to the school that we used to go to. It was just a random local. Like, a random guy. I think he was like 25.
And those 2 minutes weren't enough and she came knocking.
And then, yeah, I'm downstairs with another girl. And then she's like, I can join you. And I'm like,
Just from the top of the stairs.
yeah, no,
Room
she
for
texted.
one more. House clean.
Avery Leland says, why do people do anything for clout? I read this in a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It was this, I don't remember exactly the phrasing, but it was something like everyone has, he phrased it better, but it's like everyone has death anxiety. Everybody has this longing fear of not being remembered, you know? Like if I die and I'm alone, if I die and no one cares, then this whole shit there was no point behind any of this shit. And what clout has provided is, you know, a little immortality. Now you live forever. People know who you are. You don't have to be talented. You don't have to be good looking. You don't have to be, you could be fat as fuck. You could be annoying. You could just be a piece of shit. Even for a couple seconds, the fact that they looked at you, you left some sort of impact on the world. You think you're influencing people. They're just looking at you and hating you. But to some extent, you are leaving an impact. And that used to take like years and years. You have to have respect within your community. You just have to genuinely be a good person. And then people would know who you are. You know, you'd walk into the coffee shop or the bar. Hey, Mikey! Hey, big man, Mikey! You know, and then you feel that attention and respect from your community. Now it's all here. And it's mass amounts. It's millions rather than a couple people. So I think it just fills that void of death anxiety that everybody has. Women always say, like, men are trash. Fuck boys this, fuck boys that. And we call women bitches and make fun of their periods. They make fun of our dicks, and we should be okay with hating each other a little bit, you know? The more we pretend, then we get, like, guilty people. We get all this fake woke shit. We got to be honest with each other. There's inherent differences between men and women. Like, we're not the same people. We're different. We're whole different creatures. And so we're trying to get equal rights. We're trying to make it so that we have equal opportunity, but we're forgetting that we're different. You know, there's reasons why we are the way we are. It's because men do our we got our dicks and they got their pussies. So we're different people. You know, it makes your brain function differently. Women got to stop pretending like they know what it's like to have a dick. It's like having two brains, always. We think one thing and then we do another because we got something down there telling us another thing. Vaginas make women emotional. That's just what it is. Women are more emotional than men. I told that to a girl I knew. I'm like, I remember what we were talking about exactly, but I bring up, like, I said, you know, women are emotional. And she's, what? I'm like, yeah, women are emotional. Do you not agree? Well, I don't know if women are emotional. I think maybe society just says that men can't express their emotions. And why would you say that? And why would you say that women are emotional? I don't think. I'm like, do you hear yourself? I don't talk like that. But men are definitely, I think we're more logical. I think we're able to reason more. I think we're able to think without emotion easier than women. Women have a cycle once a month that, like, makes them emotional. They have a monthly schedule of turning into, like, a different person. They act out, like, based on men act on impulse because we're horny. Women are impulsive because of how they feel.
The one thing I learned from the shooting at my school, is, like, I'm not going to put my protection into the hands of anyone else. Like, the government failed me, the school system failed me, every single level of government failed me on this, and why would I leave my protection to the government that already failed me? Which is, like, one of the biggest things that, like, I genuinely don't understand from people on the left. It's like, if you think the police are these tyrannical people, if you think the government is corrupt and fascist, right, then why are you trusting them with your protection, and why are you only allowing them to have guns? But what happened at, like, Douglas was even more than that. So the police failed preemptively. So before the shooting, 46 reports, didn't act on it as they should. Same thing with the school. And then what happened was, actually on the day of the shooting, right, there was an armed guard, but he didn't go inside the building. He knew there was a shooter. Didn't do absolutely anything.
There was an armed guard there.
Yeah, who didn't go inside because our sheriff had actually changed the policy instead of shall go in to may go in. And then after, what happened was like the actual SWAT team that went inside was after all the bullets already ended. The only reason why the SWAT team came in, it wasn't a BSO SWAT team, it was a Coral Springs police SWAT team. BSO hadn't done a single school shooting drill for a very long time. Coral Springs police defied their orders. Like BSO was like, make a perimeter, and Coral Springs SWAT was like, F this, we're gonna go inside. Like, as they should. Three administrators ran inside to the building and like gave their life when we had an armed guard who sat outside and did nothing. And now this armed guard is getting like $100K in pension.
This shit really is the best and worst job in America right now. You know, you could be self-employed, don't have a boss, don't have a schedule, all dependent on yourself. You're your own manager, filmer, actor, director, lighter. You have the most freedom, I think, of any job. But on the other hand, you don't. Because you have to follow the algorithm, you have to follow trends, you have to constantly be seeking attention all the time. What's going to make people turn their heads? It drives people insane. Like, that's an insane thing to constantly be thinking about. Like, how am I going to make people look at me right now? I need eyes on me right now. What am I going to do? Hey guys, I'm making avocado toast. Check it out. Look at my life. Like, constantly. I try not to think of it as social media. I try to think of it like, try to think of my videos like little movies, or else I'd go insane. I would end up being like one of those other YouTubers. I guess the problem is, like, you can't just be a YouTuber. You can't just do this, or else you'll go nuts. I guess PewDiePie, some people are exceptions, but you can't just be a YouTuber, or else you're uninteresting. There's no value to you. There's nothing that you can say that we can't get anywhere else. There's nothing you can do that's unique to you. You're just a YouTuber. That's it. Those guys like Morgs, those clickbait guys, it's like, what else? Like, why am I watching you? It's good that those bigger YouTubers are going into boxing because they have something else on their resume. They're doing something else. But being a YouTuber alone it's not sustainable. It's just not healthy to be craving attention like that all day, every day for years. You're going to burn out. You're going to go crazy. There's so many YouTubers do. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. Cool. Do something cool tomorrow. And let me know about it. Bye.